It's Kaachi. Don't worry guys, I'm still ploopy, but I was actually asked to be a member of Kaachi, and let's just say I dodged a bullet right there. So I'm sure all of you guys have heard of Kaachi by now. They're literally everywhere. And so I was actually speaking to one of my favorite YouTubers, Johnny.
Hello. Hi. How are you today? How are you guys doing?
If you're watching this, shout outs to you. But yeah, I was talking to him about his video regarding Kaachi, and when he found out that I was asked to be a member, he said that I should definitely do a video about the whole situation. And you know what? I agree. So that's why I'm here today. And yeah, I'm about to spill some tea. Where's my cup?
It's Kaachi!
Kaachi is supposed to be UK's first K-pop group, and the group consists of 4 members: Nicole, Danny, Chunso, and Coco. 3 of these members were actually part of this larger K-pop dance cover crew called Yujin. Yujin is actually a pretty well-known dance crew here in the UK. They have a pretty sizable YouTube channel, and they also participate in a lot of dance cover competitions. And because I have a lot of friends in the K-pop dance cover scene, a lot of them have actually met Yujin or are friends with Yujin through these dance cover competitions. And it is through them that I realized I actually have a lot of mutual connections with Yujin, and by extension, the members of Kaachi. That being said, I've never actually met them in person. However, I've always known of their existence, and I'm pretty sure they've known of mine as well. Okay, but back to Kaachi. If you watched some of Kaachi's pre-debut videos, you would have seen that Nicole, Danny, and Chunso were actually in the group since the beginning. However, the 4th member, Coco, wasn't added in until the end. In fact, this 4th member was originally supposed to be KG before she was replaced by Miso and then eventually replaced by Coco. On March the 8th, Nicole, the leader of Kaachi, messaged me on Instagram, and I'm just gonna pop our conversation on the screen now. She talks about how 2 of the girls have left the group, which I presume are KG and Miso. Needless to say, I did not accept the offer. Firstly, I'm not fluent in Korean and I didn't really feel comfortable singing in a language that I didn't understand. And I could also tell that they were gonna get Koreaboos accusations, but I didn't really know how to phrase that to Nicole, so I just never ended up getting back to her. Regardless, our last exchange at the time was March the 15th, and it wasn't until April the 9th that Coco was revealed to be the final member of Kaachi. So now that we've gone through a very detailed timeline of how Kaachi was formed, it's time for us to look at some of the main criticisms against them, as well as my opinion on Kaachi in general, as well as their debut.
It's Kaachi!
The Koreaboos accusations. Where do I begin? So I'm seeing a lot of people say that the moment they saw Kaachi, they saw 3 white girls, and their minds just immediately went to the fact that they're definitely Koreaboos. And while I can see how the optics of Kaachi may look strange to a lot of people, we are seeing idols debut from countries such as Japan, Thailand, or China. And usually these people are able to debut as K-pop idols without much of an issue. So I don't really think that that should be different for anyone else just because they may look a little bit more different. However, what I do have an issue with is the fact that most of the members do not speak Korean. I also find it really strange that their main selling point is that they're UK's first K-pop group. I mean, that's almost like saying... Just off the top of my head, a similar comparison would be if someone runs an art school and their main selling point is that they're the first art school run by people with no art degrees. Like, that's not a selling point. If anything, that's a warning sign. And look, I'm no marketing expert, right? I'm just someone who spends a lot of time on the internet. But even I could smell these Koreaboos accusations from a mile away. And had Front Row Records just conducted a bit more market research, they would have seen that similar quote-unquote K-pop idols, such as Ollie London, EXP Edition, and even Lana, who by the way speaks fluent Korean, have faced similar accusations. And so I find it really hard to believe that their production company did not see this coming.
I am like the Hwasa from Mamamoo of Kaachi.
It's Kaachi!
Some people took issue with the clip that I just played, whereby Miso introduced herself as the Hwasa of Kaachi. Now in this case, I feel like people were being a little bit unfair to Miso and taking her words out of context. But before you click the dislike button, just hear me out. So let's say, for example, I introduce myself as the athletic one out of my group of friends. It doesn't mean that I think I'm the most athletic person in the world, or that if I went to the Olympics I would win all the gold medals. All that statement means is that out of my group of friends that I'm comparing myself to, I am the most athletic one. It's a relative comparison, not an absolute. Similarly, when Miso says she's the Hwasa of Kaachi, it doesn't mean that she thinks she's the next Hwasa or that she's better than Hwasa. Sorry, I just find this so funny. All she's trying to say is that out of Kaachi, she's the one who's most like Hwasa. So I think it's a bit of a stretch to say that she was being disrespectful. What really started the hate against Kaachi though was when somebody went back on Yoojin's YouTube channel and found this video from 11 months ago whereby some members from Yoojin, including the girls of Kaachi, were dancing to the same dance in different styles. So basically, another member of Yoojin called Sunny would yell out different styles for the girls to dance to. For example, he would say, dance in a happy way or dance in a cute way, etc. And at one point, this was what he said. Obviously, a lot of Blinks were very upset, and eventually Sunny went on Instagram to make an apology. If you haven't seen this yet, then I really think that you guys should check it out for yourselves and come to your own conclusions. However, I still tried to reach out to Nicole from Kaachi as well as Sunny himself for further comment regarding this issue. Unfortunately, Nicole was not able to respond because she was still under her label. However, Sunny did get back to me, and I'm gonna put some of his messages on the screen now. You guys can pause the video here to read the messages in full. However, to summarize what he said, at the time they didn't really think it was a big deal because they respected all artists and they apparently meant this as a joke. And the video had also been up on their channel for over 11 months, but nobody had said anything about it. However, in hindsight, he sees how this comment could have been problematic, and he feels like he's mostly responsible for this controversy since he was the one that said the comment. And so he feels bad for the members of Kaachi who are also receiving a lot of hate. Before I really jump into my opinions on this issue, I am seeing a lot of people on the internet say that Kaachi were the ones who insulted Jennie, and I think it's important to make it clear that while Kaachi did participate in this joke, they were not the ones who actually said the original comment. Now, from an outsider's perspective, it is very hard to tell what their motives were when they were making this quote-unquote joke. In his video apology, Sunny talks about how he's actually a fan of Blackpink, and he also says in this conversation that they regularly do covers of Blackpink. However, I don't really think that that's actually relevant to this issue. This might be a very unpopular opinion, but I am of the belief that people should be allowed to have their own opinions on different artists. Even if they didn't like Blackpink and they felt like Jennie was a lazy dancer, they're allowed to feel that way. And they could have even expressed it online as long as they did it in a constructive and a respectful way.
It just seems weird to me when you're rapping and you're supposed to be doing these hand movements that are supposed to look like they come natural to you, but in reality, they're strategically choreographed.
However, the way that this so-called joke was presented was a little bit disrespectful and insulting. And I never think it's a good look for someone to be seen mocking somebody, whether they're a celebrity or a normal person online. And from a business perspective, for Kaachi, who is now supposed to be a K-pop group, this is an even worse look on their part. The thing is, the K-pop industry is very different from the way the music industry is here in the West, whereby you constantly see celebrities dissing each other.
Hey, bitch, you not my coach, cause you never helped me to get in this fucking career, and I'm nothing like you, so I'm definitely not your fucking son.
Korea is still a country that places a lot of emphasis on hierarchies and respecting the elderly. And for Kaachi, a group that hadn't even debuted yet at that point, to be seen insulting such a senior idol like Jennie in their industry is considered very, very disrespectful. I don't know if the members of Kaachi knew at this point that they were gonna be in a K-pop group, but unfortunately this is probably going to be a clip that's gonna stay with Kaachi for the rest of their careers. However, sometimes I feel like K-pop fans also take things a bit too far. Once again, I want to emphasize that I understand why Blinks are upset, and I think it's perfectly justified if they no longer want to support Kaachi. You can unfollow them on social media, stop watching their music video, and even leave a comment letting them know why you felt what happened was very disrespectful. However, there's absolutely no need to go as far as to sending death threats, spreading fake rumors, or insulting the members' appearances. This might be a hard pill to swallow, and it honestly extends beyond this situation. But bullying and harassing someone into silence isn't gonna change their opinion. In this situation, obviously Sunny claims that the members of Kaachi do respect Blackpink. But let's say they don't and they make this comment. Sure, by bullying and harassing them, you've gotten them to apologize and retract their statements. However, their opinions on Jennie would still remain the same. And similarly, you're never gonna be able to force everyone in this world to be fans of your favorite idol. There are always bound to be some people that share completely opposing views to you, no matter how unjustified you think it might be. By taking all negative comments against your favorite idol so personally, you're just bringing more negativity to your own life. And so if you're one of those people that is still really outraged and you're still leaving hate comments on Kaachi's pages, I want to pose this question to you. Why waste your time subjecting yourself to something that you completely hate when you could be spending that time on things that bring you positive energy and joy? So I'm not sure when I became a life coach, but yeah, that's honestly something that I've wanted to get off my chest for the longest time. Anyways, believe it or not, all of these controversies happened before the group even released their first song. But now we can finally get on to reviewing their debut track, Your Turn.
It's Kaachi.
Amongst all the controversy and the hate, on April 29th, Kaachi finally released their music video for Your Turn. Overall, I did not really think that this was a good debut, and I'll talk about some of my criticisms later. However, I want to be fair to the girls of Kaachi, and I wanted to say that this music video isn't as terrible as some people make it out to be. Like, it definitely isn't the worst music video out there. Let's just say I've seen a lot worse. I liked some of the styling, and a few of the scenes were actually shot quite nicely. I also find the song quite catchy, and I think that it had a lot of potential. However, the way the song was executed definitely wasn't great. I mean, I'm not a professional singer, so I don't feel comfortable commenting on their vocal ability, but there's some lines that definitely sounded out of tune.
I don't need to know whatever her name is.
The part where she sings whatever her name is sounds very off. The thing is, even if, let's say, she couldn't sing these notes on key during the recording, surely the production team should have picked this up post-recording and edited those notes. My overwhelming thought when listening to this song was that only about 10 to 20% of the lyrics were actually in Korean, and so this whole song could have actually just been sung in English and sounded exactly the same. You don't need a man to be a bad bitch. The world be at your fingertips. You're better off without him. Time to show the world that you're a savage. Soon you'll get the message. You're better off. You need to let him go. Vocal skills aside, I also see a lot of people criticize their dancing. And by watching their music video and their live performances, I can see why people might think they're not good dancers, because they're not very synchronized and some members are not dancing with the same energy as others. So in general, it does look quite messy. However, I know for a fact that some of the members, especially Nicole, are actually pretty good dancers. To see that her skills are not being properly showcased here. I think that the problem isn't necessarily each member's dance skill, but more so the fact that they hadn't practiced together and they're not synchronized. And I know for a fact that this debut was super rushed. Because if you remember the chat that I had with Nicole where she was trying to recruit me as a member, she said that they were gonna film their music video in 1 week. At that point, I'm assuming that Coco wasn't even a member yet because they were still trying to recruit me to join. And so I'm thinking, if Coco joined after March the 15th and they were filming 1 week later, let's say on March the 22nd, that means Coco had less than a week to practice with the rest of the members. Wow, now that I'm thinking about it, that's actually crazy. And when you compare that to typical K-pop groups that usually spend a few months preparing for each comeback, in addition to all the times that they spent practicing together as trainees, it's no surprise that Kaachi's performances turned out the way that they did. And you know, I do kind of hold their production company responsible for this. I mean, the company should have at least secured the funds to ensure that they could provide these girls with proper training and practice instead of just rushing them for debut so that the company could profit off them. Overall, this was quite a lackluster debut. The girls definitely needed more training.
You my boo, so tonight better see you move.
And the whole debut in general seemed quite rushed and low budget. I wouldn't say it was absolutely terrible, but at the same time I wouldn't say it was good either. And I think the only reason why this video even stood out to people is because Kaachi was already facing so much backlash.
It's Kaachi.
With so many controversies under their belt, it's unlikely that Kaachi will ever be recognized as a legitimate K-pop group. More than likely what will happen is that Front Row Records will just profit off people talking about them and hate watching them, and then as soon as the hate for Kaachi dies down and they're no longer relevant, then they'll just disband. I do feel kind of bad for the girls. While they have made some mistakes, a lot of things are also being blown out of proportion and taken out of context, and there's so many fake rumors spreading about them. Every time I think about how I was almost a member, I just thank the gods that I made the right choice at the time and rejected the offer, because I cannot even imagine going through what they're going through now. So I really hope that you guys do not go and harass them, and instead let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of Kaachi's debut, and if you enjoyed this video then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!